when you create a web app in Azure, by definition, it's got a public interface, right? And it has a public URL. So when I create my web app, and let's say I named this demo, and you're not going to be able to name your web app demo, so don't go try. Okay? What's going to happen is that's actually going to form part of the default URL, the default DNS name of that web app. All right, and in fact, you can see up here I've got azurewebsites.net because I didn't figure you needed to see me write that out. And what happens is that's going to go demo.azurewebsites.net, and you can have your users sitting over here and they can use that URL, terrible line, a little too fast, there we go, that URL to get to your application. Now, of course, the problem with that is that that's not a really great way to advertise your web app, right? It's not necessarily, if this is a public-facing web app, what you want. So what Microsoft does allow you to do is have custom DNS names associated with your web apps. And in fact, you can do this across a range of items that have public, and pretty much anything that's got a public interface in Azure. As long as you have the right tier, you can supply a custom DNS name for that. In the case of web apps, you can't do it for the free tier, but the other tiers you can. Right? So rather than having demo.azurewebsites.net, maybe they have web.contoso, don't try this one either, .com. Right? And as long as you have, or someone that likes you has rights over that domain, has ownership over that domain, then you can set up records in that domain for the domain name servers for, in this case, contoso.com, to point web up to a web app. I happen to use a provider that I just go in, sometimes very easy to play around, and set up a host name in my domain and map that host name up to my website. Very easy to do. So now the user's coming to a much friendlier and a much more uniquely identifiable domain name when they're coming to your web application.